Hello everyone, this is the DraftKings NBA breakdown for Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. So starting at point guard, Russell Westbrook. Usually for studs, I usually don't pay up for them unless they're in a really good matchup that is just two great teams that's going to be facing off against each other. And Westbrook, he's going to be away against Sacramento, and Sacramento really just isn't a great team, and so there's certainly blowout potential here. And at 11-5, you really need 60 plus probably in GPPs, and so yeah, he definitely has the potential. It's Russell Westbrook, but against Sacramento, I just think that this isn't the place that you would want to pay up for a stud. Next, Curry. He's not really someone that I'm going to be targeting because just when the four stars on the Golden State, when they're all healthy, I just don't really think that you really need one of them unless one or the other is certainly just way too underpriced. But Curry at 9,800, that is not an underpriced player, and so I just think Curry 9,800 with Durant, Draymond, and Clay all in the lineup against the Clippers, that's just too much to pay for him. If we look to Ben Simmons, point guard, at 9K, he certainly had a great game last time out. I remember when he was 7,600 against Chicago, he had a really good game, triple-doubled, and I think that's certainly why that we see a price increase here at 9K. I feel that Ben Simmons certainly has the potential to put up a 50-point performance, but certainly Ben Simmons, though, he usually is hovering around the 40s, and at 9K you really need a lot more than 40 to pay off his price tag, so I don't think I'll be on Ben Simmons. And then a point guard that I do like is Kemba Walker, 8,600. Brooklyn just is not a good defensive team, and 8,600 is a bit much to ask for Kemba, but I feel like this matchup is really a very good one, and Kemba certainly, he's been playing pretty well. He made an all-star team this year, and at home, Kemba usually has some of those big games, so I do think Kemba here at 8,600 against Brooklyn is a good matchup for him. He certainly has hit 50 a few times recently in just his last 10 games, and I think first game after break, certainly he's going to be fresh, and I just like this matchup for Kemba, and certainly I think at 8,600, not a lot of people are going to look towards him, so I think he'll be a low-owned option. Next up at point guard, we have Chris Dunn, 1,600. For Chris Dunn, I think you just have to monitor his minutes. If he's going to play his full minutes, usually get into the low and mid 30s against Philly, that's a good matchup. Philly does not defend the guards well. In Chicago, they're going to be at home, 6,800. I remember Chris Dunn being around a 7K player when he was healthy back then, so I think Chris Dunn 6,800 in this game at home, it should stay relatively close. I do like Chris Dunn 6,800 if he gets his minutes. Next point guard I like is De'Aaron Fox, 5,800, and he certainly is a player on the Kings that will definitely get his minutes. Sacramento has already said that they're gonna usually rest their veterans more now, and especially in the second half. So Fox should see a lot more playing time, even if he's been playing 30 minutes, and I feel after the break he certainly can play upwards of the upper 30s, and I just feel like Fox is gonna get so much of the ball and so much run in this offense that it really doesn't matter if it's a blowout or not. Fox is just gonna play 30 plus minutes. He's listed as questionable, but they should change his they should change his questionable tag. So I think Fox, if they don't though, obviously it's gonna be a nice play because people might go away from him just because of that tag. So I think Fox 5,800. I would say that he's probably safe for at least 25. Should be able to hit 30 plus, and 5,800 is a good price. OKC, certainly point guards that go against Westbrook, they usually want to show off, and I just think Fox at home, we really don't have to worry about blowouts, so I think Fox is a good price player. And then next we have at point guard D'Angelo Russell. Kemba does not really defend that well. D'Angelo's certainly just getting back in the swing of things. He's been playing more minutes recently. In his past 3 games, he's definitely hit, the 20s and hit 30s one game. he's getting the ball a lot now. He's taking 14, 17, 18 shots. So at 5,600, we need about 28. So I think he should be able to hit 30, and 30 would definitely be a good pick if we were to go D'Angelo. So 5,600, I do like Russell here in this matchup against Charlotte. Next point guard, I like Austin Rivers, 5,100 against Golden State. Austin Rivers, he's getting a lot of minutes. He's really, playing mid-30s, and he's just back from injury, almost a 2-month layoff, and he's already playing 30-plus minutes. Definitely with these minutes, we usually would expect a player to do a little bit more than, under 30 DraftKings points, but I feel at this price, at 5,100, he needs 25 against Golden State. Usually teams are going to turn it up against Golden State, so I like Austin Rivers here. If he's going to get his minutes, get mid-30s, this is a good matchup for him. Next up is George Hill, 4,600 against Washington. George Hill's not really getting a lot of minutes. I expect him to get more minutes, and I also expect him to be more productive. So I think this is more of a primetime matchup, even without John Wall. Bradley Beal's certainly going to keep Washington in this game, and I think 4,600 is a pretty solid price for George Hill. If he does end up getting a little bit more playing time, and he does do a little bit more on the rebound and assist end, and also he should be able to get a little bit more steals. I feel he usually needs maybe like 25. 25 is good at this price tag, so I do like George Hill. Next, this is just a pick that you're going to have to monitor with the New York situation. Emmanuel Mudiay, 4,400. This is a great matchup if he's going to get his minutes. If New York comes out and says that they're going to start Mudiay, I think this is probably going to be a lock. 4,400 for a starting point guard. If he does start against Orlando, DJ Augustine's not a good defender. The away matchup does not scare me at all. Moody has played against Orlando, and you can see that he's already done great in his past 2 meetings with Orlando. 4,400, if he's going to get his minutes, this is going to be a great pick. And I wouldn't be surprised because Jared Jack is a veteran, and same with Courtney Lee. Their playing time should be decreased in the second half of the season. So Moody, definitely monitor him. And then that's it for point guards. Let's move on to shooting guards. So for shooting guards, there's Zach LaVine, 7,000. This is a great spot for LaVine. Against Chicago and against Philly, these two teams cannot defend the shooting guard position. So, of course, if I like LaVine, I do like JJ Redick too. But, of course, Zach LaVine's role and usage is much more bigger of a factor. His role's just a lot. He has to do a lot more. So 7K against Philly. Price tag, I think this is about the right price tag for Zach LaVine. 7K. If we take a look, he's been getting his minutes recently, and of course that 27 minutes was in a blowout. And if we look other than that game, he's been hitting 30s and 40s, and really we need 35 from him at this price tag, and I think he can definitely hit 40 plus in this great matchup, and he's at home also. So I do like Zach LaVine a lot. Next shooting guard, we have Lou Williams at 6,900. They've been pricing Lou down these past couple of games, and even with the new additions and Lou taking a more of a decrease on his role, 6,900 is far too cheap for Lou. He's usually a lock for 30 plus, and of course we all know his enormous potential. He can hit 60 any night. So I feel like Lou at this price tag, it's still a really cheap price tag. So I like Lou a lot. He's gonna take 15 plus shots a night. He gets assists. He gets a little bit the rebound category, and he'll get some steals. So we all know he's just a pure scorer, and he has the potential to go off for maybe like 40 real life points any given night. So Lou Will 6,900 at Golden State does not scare me off of him at all. So I like Lou 6,900, great price tag. Next up, Tim Hardaway Jr., 6,300. I like Hardaway here. Orlando does not defend well. It says their 30th opponent rank, so obviously, a lot of people are going to be on Tim Hardaway. 6,300, definitely a price increase. He had a great game last time out against Washington. He was just on fire at home, and I feel like more people are going to be looking at Tim Hardaway now out of that performance with that recency bias, but I still like Tim Hardaway because it's just a great matchup for him. So Tim Hardaway, 6,300, still a great price. Next up, Nicholas Batum, 5,900. Again, just attacking that Brooklyn weak defense. 5,900. Batum has triple-double upside anytime, so I like Batum. Should get at least 30 plus here in this matchup. Next, Allen Crabbe. He's been really hot recently, and Charlotte does not defend threes well at all, and we know that Crabbe is an excellent shooter. He's been getting rebounds lately, and he's been getting steals. So if he's able to get those categories, we all know that he can definitely fill up with three-pointers. So I do like Crabbe. He's been taking a lot of shots. I would expect him to hit 30 plus. So 30 plus at 5,300, great value for Allen Crabbe. And we're gonna move on to small forward. At small forward, there's Michael Beasley at the top, 7,100. He's my favorite small forward, or my favorite expensive small forward. I just don't feel like LeBron, you really need him at 11-8. And then Durant, with the 4 All-Stars all being healthy. And then Paul George, I just fear that blowout. And then Aaron Gordon, it's going to be his first game back, so I don't really want to go there. Otto Porter, 7,300. Usually his cap is probably 40 points. He can certainly exceed it, but I just don't really like Porter at 7,300. So Beasley at 7,100. We know his potential. He can go for 50 plus DraftKings points any night. Orlando, again, they're not a good defensive team, and Beasley without Porzingis anymore the rest of the season, Beasley should be about a 7K player the rest of the way, and we know that he's going to hit that 50 plus DraftKings game at some point in the near future. And I'm not going to play him just because of that, but I'm going to play him here because of his matchup. And I don't really care about away or home for him. I just think at 7,100 at Orlando, the matchup is just too good to pass up. He's going to shoot the ball a lot. He can rebound really well, double-double. He gets some blocks and steals in a little bit of the assist category. He's definitely cut down his fouls, and that's been a weakness of his. Usually he does have some foul trouble, but he's cut that down, and turnovers have been down a little bit too. So I think Beasley, this is a good price for him. Next, DeMar Carroll, 6,100. For all these Brooklyn players, just monitor that the injuries, because I know Karis LeVert and Rondé, they can both be back for this game. So just make sure that if they're both back, I might not be on DeMar as much because he is 6,100 and his playing time could be cut down, and also he might not be playing power forward anymore if Rondé's in, so his rebounds are going to definitely be down from these double-digit numbers. So if that's the case, I will not be on DeMar. Next, we have Joe Harris at 4,300. Again, if Karis LeVert is back, I might not go on Joe Harris because his playing time is going to be down, and his playing time has actually been cut a little bit down, probably because of just how well that DeMar Carroll has been playing, and Allen Crabbe, of course. But if there are still injuries, there are still Nets players out, I like Joe Harris because he is one of their best shooters along with Allen Crabbe. So I think Harris in this matchup against Charlotte, which they are a team that gives up a lot of threes, Joe Harris could be in a good spot, but just monitor the injuries. Next up, small forward is Justin Jackson, 3,900. With the Kings situation, of course, monitor the veteran resting situation. I would expect everyone to be playing this game, but we never know. So just make sure that you do check on that. Justin Jackson, he's been playing a lot recently, 30 plus minutes. He's been getting the minutes, and he's been playing pretty well. He's doing a lot on the floor. So at 3,900, we're really looking at 20-ish and he's been getting that. So I think as a value play, with not that much value currently on this slate, I feel that we definitely could get value, but it is the first game of after the break, so value might be a little thin. So I think I might look towards Justin Jackson for the value. And then again, there's Jakari Sampson at 3K. Just same thing with the Kings. So just monitor that situation. If he gets playing time, definitely at 3K. We don't need a whole lot. 15 plus is fine. So Sampson could be a play if something unexpected comes out of Sacramento from the rest situation. Okay, now moving on to power forward. At the top, I would say that Draymond Green at 8K, you don't really need him on this slate. You're really asking for 40, probably 45 at this price for GPPs, so that's something that he can get to, but it's not something that I'm confident in. Talking about Beasley, Sarge at 6,500. If Embiid's playing, I usually don't play Sarge unless Sarge is 6K or under, so I'm not going to be on him. Tobias Harris, he usually gets probably, at most 40, which I don't really see him getting here, so I'm not going to be on him. For Hazonia, Vucevic should be back, so that's going to cut his playing time down. And then a power forward that I do like, if he does play, is Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, but of course, just monitor how many minutes he would get if he is indeed playing. And then the other power forward that I like is Zach Randolph, 5,500. I do expect him to play because this is the first game after break, so he should play. And Carmelo Anthony defense just is not good. So Sacramento, of course, they could be blown out, but I think Zebo should be a lock for at least 20 minutes. And really, his usage on the court is pretty high, 5,500. We need about 30 probably for GPPs. He's been hitting that, so I feel relatively safe. He's actually been hitting threes now too, and he rebounds the ball, of course, we all know. So I do like Zebo at 5,500 against OKC. And also they're at home. And just judging by that, I only have 2 power forwards listed on here. I'll probably use a small forward and just put him at power forward, like Michael Beasley. So definitely, as of now, there are not a lot of forwards that I do like at the power forward position. Moving on to center, Joel Embiid, 9,700. He is the most expensive player that I do like. So against Robin Lopez just does not stand a chance against Embiid. Embiid should dominate, but I just like, I don't really like him that much because, Sarge, he has the ball a lot. He has JJ Redick, there's Robert Covington, and Simmons, of course. So if you're really asking for like a 60-point game, he can hit it. He's done it, of course, as you see in his February 10th game against LA, and we know that Embiid usually he can hit 50, but at 50 you don't need him in a GPP because there's certain players that are probably in the 8K range can hit 50, so you don't need Embiid. Really, if you're rostering Embiid in a GPP, you need him to get 60 plus, and he can certainly do that, and I think he can definitely do it in this matchup especially, so that's why I do like him. But just keep in mind that you really need a lot from Embiid in a GPP. So that's my only caution. And then my other center is Dwight Howard at 8,400. So Brooklyn, we all know Brooklyn just has a lot of defensive weaknesses, and Brooklyn certainly cannot rebound the ball. Jared Allen is starting at center now, and he's a young center, and he's very talented, but we all know that he still has a ways to go. And this game's going to be at Charlotte. We know that Dwight and Kemba, they both play better at Charlotte, and with Brooklyn's weakness at rebounding the ball, I really expect Dwight to get 15 plus rebounds in this game, and it would not surprise me if we were to get a 20-20. And if he gets some assists, blocks, and steals, he can usually hit 60 plus DK points. And I know that at this 10-game log, you don't see a whole lot from Dwight, but I'm really telling you, he can hit 20 rebounds this game. I think 15 is definitely a safer bet, and he can get 20 points. He's just going to feast. He's going to get the offensive rebounds, and he's just going to put it back. and there's really just nobody that can stop Dwight in this matchup. 8,400 is a bit cheap for this matchup, so I'm going to be all over Dwight in this matchup. He's probably my favorite center on this slate, and probably my favorite pick also out of just all these players, along with Michael Beasley. And then that's my last favorite player for this slate. So I want to just thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.